What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Fireball Mullet channel. I'm Stan Kennedy and I'm super excited. This is really a special edition. I wanted to first thank all the new subscribers that's recently subscribed to the channel, and I also want to make sure I give a shout out to all you OG subscribers that have hung in there with me along the way. I'm always trying to improve the content as well as the format on this. And that goes everything from, volume control all the way up to just how we sort of format this. I want to make sure I keep it interesting for you guys. I'm always happy to get comments back on this. We hit a major milestone today. And so in terms of number of subscribers. So that was another reason why I wanted to make sure I put out some videos. I did film some content more on the LSA blower. So in today's video, we're gonna go through a few more LSA blower prep. The first thing we're gonna do is remove the alignment pin on the LSA blower. The next thing we're gonna do is change the oil. Now the oil looks pretty good in it, but I went ahead and just, while we're here, because it's kind of a pain if the blower's on there, I went ahead and changed that. And the third thing is I figured out a way where I can make the blower clear the third gen wiper motor. So that's in today's video. Thanks again, guys, and let's get right to it. We're gonna go ahead and go over a few more prep items and this thing's gonna be ready to go. Once I complete this, the blower is pretty much set, but I am gonna paint it. And I still haven't decided what color or scheme, whatever I'm gonna do here, but it's not going on like this. It's actually, we're gonna have it professionally painted. So I think that's gonna really bring out, sort of take it to the next level, at least in terms of aesthetics, if you will. So we're gonna get that squared away and try to figure that out. But in today's video, we're gonna go ahead, change the oil, and then we're going to cut off the alignment pin that's underneath the head here, or where it connects to the head underneath the blower. And normally the LSA blower has a pin that aligns it. The LS3 heads don't have that provision. So we need to remove that. Makes me a little nervous because you're kind of cutting right where the head sort of mounts. So we're going to take our time on that piece. Then finally, we're also going to provisioning for the wiper motor, which from what I understand, this part right here is just a tab that's not used. And this is exactly where it hits on the wiper motor right here. So we're gonna cut it off basically right there, and then we're gonna kind of smooth it out. And this actually should clear the wiper motor, and then I won't have to do that crazy Nissan wiper motor install or anything like that. So I'm hoping that's gonna do the trick. And from what I can tell in my measurements, I think it is. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut that off. I'll show you on the wiper motor where it hits if you didn't see my last video real quick. I'm gonna take you on in here and show you exactly where this thing hits. So when I had the blower on, that was the test fitting for the hood clearance in the previous video. Make sure you check out that. You'll see exactly where this is hit, and you can actually see I've got a little mark there where it was hitting. So as it was going on, that tab was hitting right here. So if I remove that tab off of the blower base, I think this thing's gonna fit. Now this is all bolted back on, and I think that's gonna work perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now I've never really ran the washer pump in this. I may upgrade to a more recent version of where the pump is actually in the reservoir. Might do that, I don't know. The biggest thing is I really do need wipers here in Florida. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, cut that tab off the blower, and then this should be fine. We'll go ahead and I guess next step is go ahead and get the blower painted, and that'll be in a future video when I kind of go through that. So let's get right to it. But now you guys know kind of what I was thinking about here. All right, guys, so here we are. I actually came around the other side of the shop table here, this little table that I call it my LSA blower table kind of workstation. It's just really a fold out sort of table. And I've been kind of collecting all my parts, try to keep this super clean. I really need to clean up the shop and do some organization, buy some cabinets, that sort of thing for this, but that's a whole nother day. So what I would love to do right now is go ahead and figure out, you know, where to cut this. Now I've already marked it here. Pretty much it's going to run along this line here. So there's a couple different tools I can use to cut this. I can use a saw, which normally is a really clean cut, so I may use that, or I may just grab, it's pretty small, so I may just grab the Dremel and go ahead and cut from there. So let's go ahead and figure that out now. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I got on the other side here. All right, guys, I'm gonna take you in there and kind of show you a little bit. I think that worked out perfect. All right, guys, I'm gonna take you in here and show you a little bit here what we just performed. Cut that off. Then I took a larger angle grinder and just kind of smoothed it out around the edges, kind of rolled it around. Turned out great. You can see here, we're looking at the back of the blower here. There's the tab on this side. That's basically what I cut off on this side. That side should be good. There's nothing that's interfering there. The wiper motor was literally like right here. So this should do it. So if this doesn't do it, then maybe I'll just get the Nissan wiper motor, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna clear now. All right, guys, kind of got as close as I could safely without getting into the gasket area here where the blower surface meets the head. So I got this pretty close. So I basically just used a Dremel cutoff wheel here. Take my time. The next one I'm gonna try is this carbide bit, and I'm just gonna easily just kind of go down and take down some of the edge here and get it where it's a little bit recessed or flushed right there. And the other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep it at the same angle as this as well, so I don't kind of gouge into it or anything. All right, guys, Here she is. I feel really good about that. I think it turned out great. So that's how I remove the pin. All right guys, got the oil plug out. Now I'm just gonna tip it over and see what kind of oil comes out of this thing. I'm assuming they drained it before shipping, but who knows? Well, we got some oil, and we definitely had some oil in it. All right guys, got the oil drain. A little messier than I hoped. I picked up this kit here where got a syringe, got some oil, supercharger oil. Bought 2 of them. And the kit comes with a couple different ends here, as well as a little tube, I guess, to kind of get it in there. So I've never done this, so we're just going to figure this out together. I think what we'll have to do is something like this and get it on there. Put this little tube on the end of this syringe. We open up the supercharger oil and we just pull some in. Let's see how many ounces here I need. All right guys, we're going to go ahead and fill up the syringe. All right, that's 2 ounces. I don't know if it's supposed to come out, so just let me do a quick Google on that. All right guys, so looks like about 6 ounces is what they typically take. And it's recommended that you change the supercharger oil every 30,000 miles. I think this motor, the one that this LSA came out of, this blower came out of, was around 22,000. So the oil actually looked really clean and really good. So no shiny, no shiny stuff in it. And so that's really good sign. This thing just overall seems like it's really nice, which is awesome. So I just put 2 ounces in it, and we'll go ahead and see if it'll take 4 ounces. There were probably a little bit more in there. I don't know if I drained every little drop out of there, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and get the next bit out of it. Let's see what we got. That's 4 ounces. Now I've also seen guys where they take off basically the rotor cover here and make sure they get it all out. Since this oil looks so good, I'm not doing that. I think you would do that if the supercharger LSA had a lot of miles. Maybe it's been rebuilt, so you know some shavings or some bearing materials in there perhaps. But this thing is just beautiful. So we're gonna go with that. Got a little bit of overfill. And that's really it for this one. Now, if you do have to take this cover off, I've seen some guys use just some very light RTV, maybe some of that gray, or maybe the ultra black. but just do a little skim coat. I don't know what GM uses from the factory. They use some type of glue adhesive or gasket that's super thin, but does a really good seal on these. So it'll take quite a bit of cleaning up. Prep it, make sure you prep it good, and then you can go ahead and put this back on. But I think we are all set. We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put the plug back in. There you go. And that, my friends, is fresh oil ready to spin. Now, I mentioned that it's 30,000 to change. If you have a smaller pulley, they recommend every 10,000. So at the 10,000 mile mark, I'll probably come in and change this out. All right, guys. So just kind of recapping, we changed the oil. Then we also removed that pin underneath the blower, the alignment pin. So we did that and turned out super nice. And then we went ahead and clearanced this and cut off that ear, if you will. And now that should work with the wiper motor. So that's really today's video, guys. All right, guys, so that's today's video. I hope you liked it. We're gonna have some more content. The next thing I'm gonna do is do the fuel system setup, but I'm also gonna film some on the LS Swap Basics playlist because I wanna review how the LS Swap fuel system was done without any custom lines. So make sure you tune in for that one. Thanks and have a great day.